So welcome to the first edition of the SarmiStudio Podcast. I'm Mr. Mac, together with Toasted Synapse.
Hi.
Julie from SarmiStudio.
Yo.
And MardukGX from SarmiStudio as well.
Hello.
So guys, today we're gonna go over a few subjects, including news, including the events that happened this week, new games that were released. Two big AAA games just arrived this week. It was Assassin's Creed 3 and Hitman Absolution. And of course we got the new console on the Wii U. What can you tell me? What are your opinions about that?
Well, from what I heard, the release games were pretty, underwhelming since the only games that came with the Wii were the generic Nintendo Land games, which basically was a minigame collection, and that Mario rehash that.
They were so proud of it.
Yeah, but it's the same game over again. The 3DS one is the same. Even the last Wii game, the last Wii Mario game, is basically the same type, 4-player side-scroller.
Yeah, but you can't expect much from that, to be honest.
Yeah, but I personally thought that the third-party games were gonna be the big names here, but we just have games from last year.
Yeah, I also saw that you even have the Mass Effect 3 remake for the Wii U.
Yeah, and Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
And the only new games are stuff like Assassin's Creed 3 and other games that kind of sort of look like mini games, like Nintendo style mini games. So nothing too impressive.
It's almost like the publishers are afraid to invest in the Wii U, and that's sad because actually Nintendo was looking forward to the third-party publishers to come and populate the market.
Yeah, well, until now nobody saw nobody saw Nintendo as a hardcore demographic. Just the Nintendo was the console only for their exclusive, like Zelda and Mario, of course, and Metroid and other stuff like that. But EA didn't do that much of a great job, because they released Mass Effect 3 exactly when they released the Mass Effect trilogy for the PS3, Xbox, and I think the PC, which has all the Mass Effect games, all 3 of them, including all the DLC. The Mass Effect, the Wii U Mass Effect 3 version doesn't even have the DLC. It's just the pre-release game.
Are you referring to the DLCs, all of them, or
no, all of them. The weapon packs, that extra mission.
Leviathan, and...
Yes, it's only the core game. And it's pretty weird. I can't really explain it. They are either greedy bastards or they
thinking from the point of view that maybe the Wii U wasn't advertised good enough from the point of view of the graphics, because a lot of companies got used to the idea that the Wii was a very simple, casual type of console that couldn't go push its limits really that far in comparison to the PS3 or the Xbox 360.
Well, that's one of the selling points of the Wii U, because the graphics card is way more powerful than the PS3 and the Wii U and the Xbox One, since it can run 1080p games.
Yet at the same time, they sold a lot of. I remember the deluxe edition on a lot of websites, including GameStop and all those. They just sold out.
Oh, of course, it's Nintendo.
And it's freaking cheap. I mean, for $300, the normal edition, it's like
Well, it's cheap compared to the release versions of the Xbox and the PlayStation. The PlayStation was, I don't know, something like $600 or.
You also have to take into consideration the new generation aspect that's here. I mean, the PS3 and the Xbox have been out there for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of hype going around with the new generation of PlayStation and Xbox. And where are these new generations? And then the Nintendo comes with the Wii U, and says where our console is from the new generation. And buyers were left wondering, well, if I want to buy the new generation, this is the only producer that can offer me the new generation. I think that's why many consumers went for the Wii U, because it was new and out there, and others didn't have competition.
Yeah, that was the one of their selling points. There's no questioning that. But is it just me, or was it? I expected it to be more hyped, more.
Yeah, I mean, it was very hyped the first 2 or 3 days maximum, but
Yeah, we saw it
people
at.
are already. I can't even see it anymore on forums or less and less. I mean, you did go to all the games and they're all fun, and the small console style, the small screen that you can access, and it's
Yeah.
much more interactive, but I don't see people ranting and constantly discussing it.
Well, except the video game sites, they are all over it.
Even those that they have been distracted by other events. For instance, the autumn sales on Steam.
Yeah.
But we'll
Well.
get that in a minute.
Well, the competitive scene between these companies has been rather tight, and Nintendo has shown us that it fell out of the wagon a couple of times when, motion sensors and portable devices, they kind of were lacking. Like, if you remember, one of the colossal, I don't know, stupid things that they did with the DS was that they saw the PlayStation Vita had 2 joysticks, and they added a rather interesting,
Oddly placed
joystick that was reminiscent of something in the 60s, or I don't know. Not the 60s, but you get my point.
Yeah.
The idea is that whatever Nintendo does, the competitors do it better, and it's not. I'm not saying that I have all the details concerning that, but it's how the fans see it and how the consumers see it. It doesn't need to be all true, but it's actually what the market sees, and the masses, well, they buy the products. If you remember regarding the screen that Max said,
The Wii U one.
yeah, the Wii U one. I remember from E3, which was interesting how they set this. They Microsoft announced the I don't know exactly how it's called, the smart screen.
Oh yeah,
Or the-
smart glass.
The smart glass,
yeah.
yeah, which basically does what the Wii U does. Of course, the Wii U can do many other things and better, but what did the audience actually see?
Well,
They saw a product that does exactly what.
Yeah, and
That's what they saw. It doesn't matter
they
if it isn't
announced
true.
When they announced it was pretty much at the same time. So you can't say that Microsoft tried to copy the
Yeah.
Wii. But what I hated the most was the fact that when introducing it to the Wii U, this small screen, it was like introducing a joystick. It was like cheapening their way in and admitting that only with sensor it won't work. It won't get the cover for all the video games, because they had a very large difficulty in the past. We remember all those video games that were just horribly
Yeah.
going just because you couldn't. You didn't have the technology. You didn't have all those small details that made the game comfortable.
Yeah, but from okay, go ahead.
Let's remember that smart glass was introduced before the Wii U, and before that, people had like a lot of speculation about what the Wii U is like and what it will feel like. And after the Nintendo conference, we were lacking information. Like, many people were asking on the forums and on the internet, okay, but how does it work? Could I leave the house? Could I use this in the bus? Could I use this, I don't know, at night under the covers or something? How does it work? I mean, smart glass was really intelligible. Okay, you have a tablet. People have tablets, people have phones. You don't have to buy a whole device to communicate between it and the screen. And Nintendo we have this, and I'm pretty sure that behind the scenes, the PR of the Nintendo said, okay, keep the information about you need the thing close, you can't play it on the bus. Do not tell them that, because Microsoft 20 minutes ago told them that they could do that, and we don't want to say, well, we can't do what Microsoft does.
I can't really remember the past, the way earlier E3 when E3 conferences where the Wii U and the other consoles were announced, but from my experience, the Nintendo is not really concerned with these kind of things, since I don't really know what examples to give, but this one is, even the Wii U is a pretty good example. I don't think Nintendo cares about this kind of stuff because they know the console and their products will sell anyway. That has always been the case. When the Wii, the original Wii, was released, the hardcore gamers looked away. They thought and they're actually right, they thought the whole motion control was a gimmick, and in my opinion it is a gimmick.
Yeah.
Although some games that came out during this time are pretty good. But it sold well. It outsold the PS3 and the Xbox by quite a lot. I think the numbers for the PS3 and Xbox now are about 60 million units shipped, and the Wii is almost 100 million, at 100 million units shipped. So, and everybody said, oh, Wii is behind, Wii can't run HD games. Actually, that was basically it. They were way behind on the graphics, graphic technology, but it still sold. Nintendo did something, and
yeah, they were always trying to appeal to a wider range of customers. The idea of the casual gamer. I remember when they were some people were bashing on the idea that even old people are enjoying it, and it was that was what gave Wii and Nintendo the advantage in comparison, because you have Sony and Microsoft fighting over the first place on the best console, and Nintendo said, why should we be that narrow-minded and do something that we obviously don't have the information or the advertising to reach that level. And as you said, look at their games. Their games aren't high-end games.
Well, not high-end from a technological point of view.
Yeah.
They're not that fancy.
Look at Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. That is a game that doesn't look all that great graphically, but is amazing and one of the most comfortable and...
Yeah, it's one of the best games that came out last year.
Yeah.
Last year, was it? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, in my opinion, back then, casual gaming was not really a thing. That's something that developed in recent years with the booming Facebook culture with all the internet games and stuff, and the iPhone games.
Before that, you had bathroom games that you can take and have a quick session while you're in the crapper. Generally, that's what I call them.
Yeah, well,
bathroom games.
Yeah, you can easily save and go away and
play for 5 minutes and put it
grab
over.
a joystick, grab a shit. and then
Games were
go
designed.
down.
Games were designed to be like on portable devices. That's why I meant you're not taking, or you can take your laptop. But games were designed to be like checkpoints from 5 to 5 minutes, so you can take them in the bathroom, not hardcore. Like.
But again, they were not as popular as today. When almost everybody has played Farmville, or I'm not familiar with the iPhone games, but stuff like Angry Birds and Fruit Ninja or whatever that's called. It sold millions, and that's something unimaginable 5-6 years ago.
Because just imagine from the point of view you're waiting for somebody. Oh, I might as well just take out my smartphone and play a little because I have nothing better to do. And I remember College Humor a few years ago when what's it called? Angry Birds went out crazy. Everybody was saying that people just couldn't get over it. I mean, you were going out to the bathroom, as you said, taking a shit.
Yeah, it was very addictive.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good game.
A very simple-minded game.
Yeah, and it's not original. That's the fact that the advertising brought it to the point that
it has nice aesthetics. It's extremely user friendly.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's cute, but it works. And 6 years ago, when that was basically Nintendo's target audience, and everybody not everybody, the hardcore audience thought, they won't buy this game. They're not real gamers like us. And they brought us a new wave of casual gamers. And
I'm wondering from a point of view if your laptop or any type of console would smell if you stay in the bathroom and take a shit while playing.
It won't. Trust me.
No,
I did not do it myself. I just know too many people who do it.
Proper ventilation is the key.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Julia,
from the computer or from the bathroom?
So Julia, our bathroom casual gamer expert here.
She did a statistic on that.
If you're going in the winter and it's cold, you can start rendering a video or something to get the laptop hot, and then you won't feel cold on the crap.
Oh, that's just gross.
That actually makes sense.
Yes.
I'd like to know how to make my computer hot, if you know what I mean. Well, anyway, serious stuff now.
Okay, next.
Well, before we end this topic, what do you feel? Where do you feel Nintendo will go when the actual new generation of PlayStation and Xbox hit the market?
Probably what happened before when the Wii, the standard Wii went.
So they're gonna stick with the Wii U
People are
even
gonna forget
after.
about it, maybe.
Yeah, most probably.
Publishers are gonna forget about it. No new games. I mean, some
I
new
mean,
games.
The contracts that they have will probably stick the same, and it's probably going to have a much wider range of video games now with the HD option, but I'm not seeing it as advancing it to a next level.
No, I find it hard to believe either. I mean, publishers are obviously reluctant to release their games on this console. I mean, except Ubisoft. EA brought Mass Effect 3, year-old game. Arkham City is also, I think, more than 1 year old, I believe. Is it? Well, I don't know.
I think so.
Asylum or
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum.
1 year
Oh.
old, yeah.
And as a side note, Arkham Asylum has all the DLC, all the costumes, all the bonus stages, everything.
So thank you, BioWare.
Yeah, actually EA, not BioWare.
I'm actually reluctant to consoles, as you know. I'm a PC gamer. I don't really like when
Actually,
every advertising, when Wii U came. Well, if somebody wants to watch the game and you want to play, well, you can do it with the Wii U. You can do it if you have a PC in the room. Damn it.
Well, but think about it from another point of view. Nintendo comes from Japan. Japan is functions from the point of view of wireless internet all over the world, all over the place. I mean, they focus on the 3DS for instance, and the 3DS, you can just walk around and you got connected to people.
Yeah.
For instance, if you're playing Pokemon in a park or somewhere. And I think this is another reason why Nintendo likes to focus on these kind of aspects. I mean, they're mainly focusing on the ones they have at home. I'm imagining that's their primary target.
Definitely, the Japan market will never die.
Absolutely.
Concerning Nintendo.
Well, yeah. Well, if you think about it, Sony is also a Japanese company, and they they aren't doing that great.
They went west.
Although the PSP
Yeah.
did really well in Japan, not as well as the DS, which I think is now the best-selling handheld console.
I wish I had a statistic with Dark Souls, how many Sony sold in Asia and how many it sold in the Western countries.
Probably more over here. I'm kind of sure
I
about
imagine.
that.
Since it's a Western RPG and it's...
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna bother predicting what Nintendo will do, because I know it's pretty pointless, but I do think that the third-party publishers will back off in time, because the HD improvement is not enough to bring a hardcore audience. The touchscreen, unless somebody does something really great with the touchscreen, because I know what I've seen so far, it's nothing too impressive. Oh, look, I have a minimap on the touchscreen. I have to watch two screens at the same time to get somewhere. I mean, I don't see I see the potential, but right now, I think it's just a gimmick.
What about the indie games and indie companies?
Well, I don't know how many indie games will manage to get on the Wii U. I haven't looked into that much, but
Yeah, you have to think about programming standpoint, how easy it is to actually
no,
get people to convert it to 3 different systems. Or is
Yes.
it easier just to 2? Yeah. Publishers nowadays, I even think that they are backing up starting, in these times, because they do have the next generation of consoles at their offices. They do have them because the contracts. They've seen the PS4, they see the Xbox 720 or whatever it's gonna be called, and they are working with them as we speak.
yes, I know. I saw the leaks of the developer kits.
So we may speculate that maybe the Wii U is not getting enough attention because the publishers are seeing what the others
Yep.
can do.
And the launch wasn't that great either. Last I read, a lot of people have had broken Wii U's. I saw some blog posts saying that I plugged my Wii U in the TV and nothing happens, just a red blinking light on my console.
I don't know, it was a very weird date for marketing. I mean, they launched it somewhere around Sunday.
Well, yeah, but
Why? I mean, why? It's not...
Yeah, why not wait till Christmas or something?
yeah. Well,
it was...
Maybe it will have a Christmas sale though.
It was kind of
That's-
weird because they released it this quickly, and already you have the autumn sales on Steam. You had Black Friday. You have Cyber Monday now.
Yeah, but
and also you will have the Christmas sales that will soon appear. So they chose a very weird moment to launch it. I mean, from one point of view, they launched it because now you can buy all these things with the offers, but at the same time, they launched it, but people don't want to invest that much money because they want to keep their money for the sales. So it narrows down to those two choices.
As I
from my
said,
point of view.
it's pretty pointless to find arguments for Nintendo's actions. In my opinion, they're very unpredictable. But I don't know, they aren't even. I mean, from what I saw, they aren't even trying to compete with Steam. I mean, that's a totally different market, the PC gamers.
In comparison to Microsoft.
Well, yeah, I hope it does well though. in my opinion, it shouldn't have been released now. It's way too late for an improvement for the original Wii, and it's way too early. Although this is exactly what happened the previous generation. The Wii was released like a year before the PS3, and it did better. So what the hell do I know?
Okay, let's check out the next subject. The Steam Autumn Sale started off just on the 21st of November, and it ended on the 26th.
Also a whole week.
Yeah, it was actually, you could find really good offers. I mean, every day Steam would release new offers, including with price reductions from 75%, and then going down to 40%. And
Yeah,
yeah.
basically they usually do.
Yeah, it was
They doubled
really
the time this time.
true.
They
Yeah.
doubled it. 48 hours instead of 24.
True. And I don't know, you could find really good offers from Skyrim to Saints Row, and
Indie games.
including Crisis, for instance.
Skyrim is still. I expected it to be much cheaper. But
Yeah, true, but maybe Bethesda really needs the money for the Elder Scrolls Online.
No, they just know Skyrim will sell either way.
Yes, and
It is
no.
in the top sellers, by the way.
Surprisingly.
And
No.
Max Payne 3, surprisingly again.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much is Max Payne? Because I didn't. I'm actually really curious.
Let's
Was
see,
it
it's
50% off?
25 euros. 24.99.
And Skyrim?
It's
Is it
50%.
Yeah.
Also, it was
off.
cheaper.
Skyrim, oh, it's exactly the same. 50%. But the number one top seller is still Borderlands 2.
Yeah, because it.
Exactly the same, 24.99 euros. And
Not bad, actually.
yeah, but look at other offers, like Saints Row is 9.99 euros. Mark of the Ninja, which is a recently released game for 7.49 euros. Deus Ex Human Revolution,
Yeah.
2.99 euros. That's,
Just bought it.
yeah,
It's a bargain.
yeah. And
We
look
had
at
awesome
Skyrim.
mods and tons of other games that
Yeah.
have Steam Play.
But also, for instance,
Oh yeah, I forgot about Psychonauts. I
I find
saw
it
that.
kind of funny that they include the new released games, like Assassin's Creed 3 and Hitman Evolution, even though they don't have any price reduction.
They're just there just to showcase them. Oh
They
look,
do
here,
have
new
for
games.
Chivalry and War of the Roses, which
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
fairly new and both cool games to be played.
A few days ago.
Chivalry is apparently on the third place, but War of the Roses is not on the list.
That's surprising.
Yeah,
War of the
Mountain
Roses
Blade,
is,
the collection is for
Steeper.
How much?
874 euros. Absolutely all three games and the packs. 75% price reduction. That's a damn good offer.
Yeah, it was. I think the last time I checked, there was a previous Mountain Blade sale. I don't know. I think 2-3 months ago, and it was.
Wow,
Summer sale.
they're trying.
No. More recently.
They're
Oh.
trying. I think it was the weekend sale.
I don't
Sometimes
remember. I
have
don't
this-
remember. But
Has this.
But yeah, pretty good.
Crisis, both the original, the classic one, and Crisis 2 Maximum Edition, they're both on the list. Crisis 1 is on the 15th place, and Crisis 2 is on the 10th place. And they both got like 70% price reduction.
Of course,
That's-
these are subject to change. If you're listening to the podcast, maybe they won't
Yeah,
be the
they
same.
can. All this can change. Actually, it's gonna be ending by the time this will be out. But what I like most, the fact that I told you a few days ago, Marduk,
What?
the fact that Crisis 2 still looks like a damn good game from a graphic point of view, and it looks better than many games that were released this year, for instance.
Yeah, but
It's Crisis, yeah, I know. It's
yeah, but Personally, that's the only thing I would say about it. I mean,
It's Crysis.
it's Crysis, yeah. It looks good. Go on.
In times
Yeah.
of crisis, by Crysis.
No, seriously, that's... I mean, I don't know. It's boring.
Yeah. And actually, I was curious about if you guys found anything interesting in these sales or bought anything interesting.
Obsidian's Sith Lord Star Wars. Just bought it for €5.
That's kind of late.
Yes, I know. It was the 50% off sale and worth it anyway. I would have paid full price, but I knew this sale was coming, so I waited. But apparently I was not too careful. Worth every penny though. Fantastic
apart from
game.
that,
Buy it!
I got Gary's mod for €2. I know it's a bit late for that too, but still.
That's
€2, Gary's mods.
It was a
Was
top
on
seller
Flash.
for... Yeah.
Yeah, it was in flash sales that last about 12 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
Also, I think they doubled the time.
Yeah, they
So-
usually do this for highly requested games.
Terraria again was on
Yeah.
was on sale.
I think I bought it last Christmas or last summer.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, I don't think it's worth talking about, but I really like Steam.
Yeah, it's the only. It's interesting to think that it's basically kind of the only choice that you can go towards.
Well,
Hey,
that
hey,
will soon
so-
change, because from what I understood, we all know by now about Gabe, the owner of Valve and
Yeah.
Steam. He said that he actually hates Windows 8.
Yeah, I read
because it's
that.
not
Yeah.
friendly for user friendly to video games. But I think it actually was revealed that the actual problem was with the fact that Microsoft wants to launch something similar to Steam.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty
Where you
obvious
could-
move.
Well,
And
yeah, it
kind of late though.
It was about time. I mean, you had the Xbox Live
Yeah,
option, and you had Windows Live with all the games, but you didn't have, a community that strong of a community. They didn't.
Well, it was there, but it wasn't as organized and as the console one. It's just, I think it's a bit too late.
I hate Windows 8.
I hate Windows 8 as well, and I think most of the people who are into PC gaming and so yeah, most people.
Is Windows 8 gonna be the Wii U of web stores?
Could be.
No, it's
Or, because think about it, hardcore gamers don't go for the Wii U. Will hardcore gamers go for Windows 8?
No.
Seriously? I
no,
don't think so. What I want to say regarding Steam is that they're basically now and have been for a while, the only option you can go towards when, talking about game communities and buying games. And
Yes,
it's
that-
pretty damn good and interesting that they actually keep sales up. They compete against nothing, basically, because that's what happens if you have two competing companies. They will match sales. Oh, I can beat your sale by 5% and people will come to me. But Steam has done this knowing that people won't go anywhere else to
Yeah,
buy it,
it's
and they
like
still
it's-
do it.
No, they're
It's
really
fighting,
smart.
An invisible.
And
enemy.
we're the ones that profit from it, and it's pretty,
Yes, I think it's the best thing that happened to PC gaming.
yeah, I
and
applaud them that they keep the sales up, even though they're not losing
well,
people to compete.
digital
to competition.
distribution doesn't work the way the console business does. Well, it is a bit different, but well, now with sites like Good Old Games and I think Amazon.com also sells some digital games now, but
Good
yeah,
Old
not on the
Games
same scale.
Good Old Games evolved.
Yeah,
and they do offer sales. They had did they have the one with the Big Five for $10, I believe?
Big Five, the CRPGs or?
No, pick 5 of some games on the sale list. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on this if it was on Good Old Games or another distribution site. But you could pick 5 games from a long list, all good games, and you pay $10 for them. So they were like...
So any games?
Any game. And they were like, 3 or 4 euro games on sale. So basically €5 on the normal price. So you pick 5, so basically from 25 you can...
Yeah, that's actually...
Only spend 10.
How did I miss that? There's a bunch of games I want to purchase from there. But yeah, I'm not really up to date with their policies and that stuff right now. But yeah, good for them. Good for them.
It's going slow, and you rarely see news from Good Old Games, but they do have pretty good offers.
Yeah.
Especially if you're into those kind of games.
Yeah, and their installers are up to date. They even have. I recently purchased the Planescape Tournament from there, and it has. I don't know if you know this, but the original came on 4 CDs, and it was not in the style of Final Fantasy like 7, 8, the PS1 ones, the PSX ones, where you got to some point in the game you had to change the CD, and you played it on the whole map on that CD, and you would never go back to the first CD. So it's just like
making it linear.
Yes, you just like reading a book. You never go back. You just go forward. I don't know how to explain it better than that, but Planescape Tournament was a little different. If you wanted to go back on some maps, you had to change the CD again. So let's say I was on the first CD, I wanted to go back to Sigil, to the first town, and I had to put the first CD in. Even if I had to go back for like 2 minutes to check a shop or something. And except for the DVD release, Good Old Games was the only, I shouldn't call it a platform, but they're the only guys who took the game and changed it from the installer to the modding side of things, since they support modding out front. When you buy the game, they basically show you like 20 links. Here, you can mod this to, it can support widescreen now, HD texture, stuff like that, which is pretty damn nice, because usually you have to go and do this research by yourself.
They have paid people to do this.
Yes. So what I basically want to say is they're doing a great job keeping these games alive.
Well, it's not surprising. I mean, it comes from one of the best community-friendly companies. I mean, from what I know, Good Old Games belongs to CD Projekt Red. So we all know that CD Projekt Red is one of the most lovable companies out there in the video game industry.
Yeah, you can't say anything bad about Good Old Games. Nobody can.
Yeah. So yeah.
Witcher 2, best game ever.
Yeah. I haven't played it, so I will not comment on that, but I trust Mr. Mac's opinion, and so should you.
I actually played it a long time ago, and it was on
release.
Right when it was released, and my laptop wasn't that great. Yeah, I played it on laptop, so I couldn't enjoy it fully, and I was really disappointed by that.
It looks nice though.
Yeah.
It's really, even
the
for the
enhanced
time.
edition is like everything is just right.
Yeah, I believe The Witcher 2 came out about at the same time as Dragon Age 2, and boy, it
I know, I think
blew it out of the water.
Somewhere around there, but Dragon Age 2, if I'm not mistaken, I could check that out really quick, but if I'm not mistaken, it used the same engine that was used on the Star Wars The Old Republic.
Really?
It looks like the same engine, but it was the only problem is that on Star Wars The Old Republic, it had it was a prototype engine.
Oh, the MMO.
Yeah.
I mixed them. I thought you were referring to the
No, not Knights of the
8-year-old
Old Republic.
game.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Free to play.
Yeah, it's free to play now. Well, free to play is kind of a vague way to put it.
Free stress is the one way to put it.
Dragon Age 2.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's not the same engine.
No, isn't it a shooter engine since EA bought BioWare?
The Old Republic uses the Hero engine.
Yeah, that's
And Dragon Age 2 uses Lyceum or whatever. Don't know exactly how it's pronounced. But it looks very similar. I mean, they're all made out. They look like they're made out of plastic. That was one of the most ugliest. It's no, it's not.
I haven't played the game, but I saw people comparing some of the textures with Morrowind, and that was pretty embarrassing.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, it was really bad. I mean,
but they patched it up, and I think in the end it was okay, but kind of a disappointment. Yeah, that was, I think, 2 years ago. Is it 2 years?
yeah, it was 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
I'm getting old.
We all are. Nobody's freezing time. Okay, and what about games? Let's talk a bit about video games since we're here, because we obviously didn't talk about that until now.
Yeah.
What games have you guys been playing in the last week, last few days?
Well, I haven't played much. I played Assassin's Creed 3. That's the new one. And what can I say? I've never played
On the PC.
On the PC, of course.
You have to mention that because the console one was out.
Yeah, and the Wii U, which is sort of different, still has some frame rate issues, which I think it's the frame rate issues are on the PC as well. Although because I don't have a high-end PC, some of the frame rate issues may be on my part. But yeah, it was my first Assassin's Creed game, and I didn't actually, even now, I'm not really accustomed to this this style of half cinematic, half timing-based combat. I'm more used to this RPG-ish Skyrim or Dragon Age style turn-based combat. I'm more of an RPG guy, that's why I find some of the gameplay elements of Assassin's Creed 3 kinda weird.
Are you implying that Assassin's Creed doesn't have RPG elements?
It has some RPG elements, but actually no, it doesn't have any RPG elements since from what I've played, you don't have any kind of dialogue options. You don't have any talent specs, or you can't even name your character.
You can't even change.
Your legacy.
No, you can buy equipment and switch it from time to time, but it's hardly noticeable since.
Yeah, it's very cheap customization.
Well,
cheap and simple.
Well, for example, the game prompted me to go to the shop and buy a sword and a gun, and then the very next mission, I forgot to switch my switchblade for the sword, and when I entered combat and used my switchblades, I insta killed people, and I never used the sword. It was weird. Weird.
Assassin's Creed players will always say that with all that variety of items, they will still stick to the Hidden Blade.
Oh yeah,
'Cause it's
it's way
assassin-y,
cooler.
like.
Yeah.
No, but it's the item, the weapon that signal that presents the game. It's the
Yeah, but
unique
I thought-
item.
yeah, but the thing I found weird is here, buy a sword and you'll never use it because you already have something better, and I mean I think it's just there to show you how to buy stuff and how to equip stuff, but
Did you try the tomahawk?
I just got to that part and I managed to hunt some animals and a bear.
The bear
Yeah,
too?
that's all I managed to do up to this point. I played with the. Should I spoil it? No, I played with the first guy with I forget his name, the pirate hat dude, the colonist, the assassin, let's say. No spoilers here. And yeah, little stuff like this made me kind of. A lot of these things seemed pointless to me. I mean, maybe I'm not accustomed to these kind of choices, but
What did you think about the combat? I mean, you being an RPG guy, I know that it has similar to QTE effects. Like
yes. Some of it is nice. The counter system, it reminds me a bit of. As I said, I've never played the previous Assassin's Creed game, so I don't know which.
You've been bored by the. If you
Pretty
saw
much.
them in the previous games and now you play them again, but if it's
I
the
can't
first
even-
game you played, maybe you won't get bored of them that fast.
Well, I don't think. I mean, yeah, the combat is pretty boring, but its cinematic style kinda keeps me rooted. I still want to experience it for a bit longer, and maybe I will start to like it. It's not one of those. I expected Assassin's Creed to be one of those games with heavy emphasis on gameplay, but I was rather surprised that. I don't think I'm gonna exaggerate by saying this, but a very large part of the game is basically cinematics. You sit back and watch.
Cutscenes.
Yes,
They tend to do
It's-
this in the modern market.
and
Regarding combat, I actually kind of enjoy that combat in Assassin's Creed because it's something different from the rest. First of all,
definitely.
second of all, it's something that I could spice up, and I generally want to spice up. Let's say, well, you want to use the hidden blades, for example. Well, I want to go into this fight with only my sword, let's say, and I want to throw these guys. Rather than do what any other,
Yeah.
normal person would do, I would want to spice it up.
Yes, I
And
noticed.
if it works, I enjoy it.
Well, I noticed at some point when you get familiar with the combat, almost anything you do, you can't really lose. It's pretty easy, but yeah, I find it fun sometimes. I mean, I love using the switchblades and the sword is pretty nice too. It has some cool animations. But actually, that's what I wanted to say. Even the battle animations are cinematic in their own way. It fits really well with the overall feel of the game. And that's why I stuck to this game. I really want to experience it like a movie. That statement's a bit far-fetched, but that's actually what I feel and what I expect.
Did you enjoy the story so far?
Yes.
How about the meta-narrative? Because I heard some people don't like the meta-narrative. They should just keep it out. Oh, please don't just let me
Yeah,
see his story. I don't care about the other guys. I don't care about the guy in the present or the future.
To be perfectly honest, I didn't even know. I mean, I played the first one long time ago, but I forgot everything about it. I was surprised when I was expecting a game set in in the colonist period and the States, and at the start of the game you're in a van and you're driving to a cave where you do some technological stuff. I can't really remember specifics, but it was set in the present day. And I was pretty surprised. I mean, it wasn't this. I don't know. Wasn't I supposed to be in like 200 years before this? And then the game does a really good job recapping what happened in the previous games and the general lore. But I don't mind it that much. It's still in the boundaries of
Brilliant.
yeah. I will cut them.
I guess we
You
can.
don't have to cut it. I mean, it didn't.
Yes, it's not.
Oh, Julie, you played all the Assassin's Creed games, so why don't you tell us?
Actually, I'm surprised you like there are more cinematics in the battle. You don't see that much in all the other games.
Well, to be fair, I'm at the start. I played like I think 4 hours, and I have a pretty good grasp on the story, and I think I'm just beginning to get to the end of the beginning, if that makes any sense.
End of the prologue.
Yeah, something like that. And you say that the other games are more focused on the gameplay, as opposed to the cinematic experience?
Yes, there are not so many cutscenes as you seem to.
Yes, but at least at the start there are plenty cutscenes.
Maybe because of the, the
That's-
recap.
Yes,
on the
that's
other
so you can understand what happened in the other games.
Oh no, the recap part is very short and very comprehensive. It's just, I don't mean the cinematic purely in a cutscene way. They don't.
Visuals? The visuals?
The visuals and
Taking you away from the controller parts.
no, that's
Which we
exactly
still
that's
can't
what.
master.
Well, I'm getting pretty good at it.
Or from the keyboard, whatever. The idea that I was wanting to say that they're not generally cinematics. They're points in the game that take you away from the actual, possibility to move or change anything.
Yeah, but there are parts when you have to do simple stuff like follow someone around or walk beside them, or even when climbing walls to following a specific pattern. That's in a way it is cinematic because you aren't actually doing anything, but the camera work and the general atmosphere makes it so. It really feels like you're watching
A movie.
a movie, but
So
not quite.
You don't enjoy them.
No, I do enjoy them. That's my favorite part of the game so far. It really, and I mean, I haven't praised this game too much as far as I played it, but I think it's one of the most the cinematics and the whole cinematic experience. It's one of the better I've seen.
Yeah.
And almost any game I
Remember
played
that
so far.
they cater for the modern market, which I kind of hate.
Well,
Remember Max Payne 3.
You gotta look at it
Yeah.
from a different point of view. I mean, I'm trying to compare this, for instance, with Skyrim.
Oh.
Skyrim, whenever you had scenes where it would have helped a cutscene, but Skyrim doesn't know the idea of a cutscene.
Nope.
You would have just stayed there, or even if you could have moved, you would have jumped around, as if you were in an MMO, and it would just break the whole
Immersion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I like it when, and unfortunately you see that mostly at AAA games like Mass Effect or Assassin's Creed, where the company just says, "No, you're an idiot. You are not allowed to touch the controller.
Let me
Just-
hold your hand and let's go to the.
You shut the fuck up and look at the screen."
Yeah, I don't like that at all, but
I still can't
But
get
it
past.
works better.
Yeah.
It works better actually, because there are a lot of scenes. For instance, I'm thinking about Mass Effect when I couldn't have thought a bit of it better if I had the control of Shepard. Simple scenes where you just walk towards it, towards the enemy, and you're talking, because that gives the writer a much wider control over.
yeah, he has more freedom to.
Basically,
Basically-
that's the story
Yeah.
to tell the story. As for Skyrim, on the other hand, you want to do your own story. If you want to go with no pants on in front of the king and say it's time to die, motherfucker, Well,
That is what makes Skyrim great. That is its
yeah, but
core attraction.
it breaks, as you said, the immersion.
Well, if
Well,
it makes a difference in Assassin's Creed 2, when the main character is born right at the beginning, you can move. Actually, they make you move your hands as a baby. They make you move your right hand and your left hand and then your legs.
Oh my god. I have to see that.
That's kind
I
of
don't remember that.
There's a thing on the screen that appears and says push this button, move your left hand. And you can't move on if you don't do that.
Nah, it's stuff like this that, I mean, I know that sounds kind of cute actually, but it's stuff like this that doesn't, they just don't click. I don't see the appeal.
Alright, then how about this? Still in Assassin's Creed 2,
Okay.
you get to a scene where you are with your girlfriend, right? And you want to have sex.
Oh, it's one of those. Ah, okay.
And again, they make you push a button to kiss her.
Yes, because
I
that's how
prefer the
sex
one in
works.
God of War where you push fast with the horse in the whorehouse.
Actually, I am thinking about. I'm trying to think of QuickTime events that work good in video games and QuickTime events that work very bad. I remember. I hate QuickTime events. They are the cancer that's killing video games today. And I remember Warhammer Space Marine. It was one of the most action-packed games I've played that year. And it was only, just grab any weapon you have and butcher everything in sight. And the last boss, I can spoil it because you obviously, if you didn't play it up until now, I don't care anymore. The last boss, you just jump over him and you fall off a cliff and you just have to press X, 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 arrow key, X, 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 okay, now press another button, press B or whatever.
Oh, like in Prince of Persia.
Exactly. And that's the final
That
boss.
was
That
awful.
is the final boss.
They
Quick
invested
time.
into that.
Yeah, a 5-minute QuickTime event is the final boss. That was the worst game I have ever finished, and
So
it's really disappointing because it's made by THQ, and
it's
THQ is a good company
Yeah.
overall.
it's sad because the alternative to cinematics is QuickTime events. What year are we in?
Yeah,
Seriously.
true. Look
you
at
said you enjoyed cinematics, right? What do you think about the Max Payne 3 cinematics? Like you had 6 hours of gameplay with 3.5 hours of cinematics. Like that's
Yeah,
generally
but-
Hollywood movie, not a game.
Yeah, but that's all depends on the producers and the developers, because I remember it was the same debate years ago when Metal Gear Solid came out and
Oh,
everybody was complaining because that game was pretty much
cutscene
just
heavy.
exactly, and it was supposed to be a stealth game, but
That's
it
why
was
you go
more
and
like
watch
a movie.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah, or look at Final Fantasy 12. That was pretty much auto play and just go through the whole game like that.
Yes.
That was
Sad.
another disappointment.
In-
But I'm thinking about games like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, that again spoiled, was destroyed by QuickTime events, because how can you make a game that is so action-packed, so full of skills and mass destruction, and you jump and you have to press 2 or 3 buttons and the enemy is down? That doesn't make you feel cool. That makes you feel cheap, like horror.
The only thing I think about when I see QuickTime events, I mean, I played some QuickTime event heavy games in the past, but even then I realized the QuickTime events were there just because they couldn't integrate the cinematic into gameplay. The technology was not there yet, so they just made basically a scripted event, and hey, you can press some buttons and you make that guy go there, although we can do that very easily with our script and there's basically no point to it. But I understand that the technology was limited and they wanted...
It's basically a compromise. We won't give you cinematics where we take away all the control.
Yes, but...
And we won't let you not do anything because we don't have the engine and be boring. So
Exactly. That's not really that great of an excuse either way, but
yeah.
for the time it was pretty acceptable because we didn't have that kind of gameplay back then and it was pretty
Now-
impressive at first glance. But there's no excuse for that now. We have, except, Grand Theft Auto, for example, just like Assassin's Creed, as far as I played, has no pre-rendered cutscenes. Everything is in engine. When I think of San Andreas 3, which
So
when I
you
look,
could actually play it. Yeah, that's the point.
yeah, it's exactly. You actually well, there were some quick time event-ish points in the game, but those were very short and very rare. And the cinematic, from the cinematic point of view, pretty awesome. And they did that perfectly. But when you do that, like every checkpoint or every few minutes, it's starting to be kind of a drag because you don't want to go through a movie and tap the right buttons. You want to tap the right buttons to make the movie. That makes kind of makes
And I'm bringing
sense.
Max Payne again into the conversation. You had like 2-minute action scenes and 4-minute cinematics. You start to develop
skip them?
adrenaline.
You can skip them?
No.
No,
Oh,
no.
that sucks.
You start to develop adrenaline. Okay, now I'm fighting. So you kill all the guys, then you get to the boss. Okay, now I'm gonna fight the boss, and then they take away the control. You take the gun and shoot him. I could have done that.
Yes, that's actually pretty fucked up. The most simplest action.
Not even a QTE event. I mean, when a cinematic starts, you can just go to the bathroom, come back,
No,
eat some popcorn, why the heck not?
they lost their way, and the only reason I can think of that they're still using this, it's because
It's cheap and easy.
not well, except that.
It is, yeah, cheaper,
But
of course, but
people like it. The mass audience likes it, and I personally do not understand.
Yeah.
And
the bathroom game technique. The idea that after 2 minutes you can eat your popcorn, because you can't go without popcorn, God forbid, you can die. So
I got
you
really
have
mad all of a sudden. But yeah, Assassin's Creed 3. Kinda like
let's come
it.
back to the subject.
Kinda like it. I really wish I could see a movie. I'd rather see it in movie form than play it. Although some parts are fun, but I'd rather play something else. So yeah, good job Ubisoft with the cinematic stuff. It's really well done. Among the best I've ever seen, but I don't know, the gameplay is just not for me. I find it boring.
You should play the second one.
I
It's
hope.
the best so far.
Okay,
Actually,
I hope
the only thing I remember about the second one was about the fact that I'm a two-handed sword kind of guy, and I couldn't. In Assassin's Creed 2, you couldn't use two-handed weapons, and in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, that was what we could go back to the idea of customization, playing the assassin the way you wanted to, but it just reminded me of the fact that I don't know, it's pretty much when I was always going with my two-handed sword. I had a claymore and I was an assassin. It was pretty awesome, cause
that sounds pretty awesome.
yeah, cause I had the hood and everything, and everybody was around me, and I was just pulling out a ginormous sword. I was like, yes, I'm in a Japanese anime now. It was really good, felt good, and that's what I hope I can experience from Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh yeah, and if anyone cares, I also played Professor Layton, The Curious Village, the first in the series. It's a DS game, by the way, so it's not really on topic, but pretty nice game. Pretty nice game. One of the best puzzle games out there.
We should try that sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll try. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to continue on with another video game that was released this week, aka Hitman Absolution. So Toasted, I know you
Yep.
tried it out.
Yeah, me and Radu tried it out. We did a video about it. You'll be seeing that coming up. It's an interesting game, to say. It's
How is it different from Blood Money?
Have you played other Hitman games?
I have played Blood Money a while back. That's the thing. This Hitman game is released. I don't know when did Blood Money come out? Like
A long time ago.
long time. And
It was supposed to be it was supposed to be the end of the franchise in more than 3 years. It's like 5 or 6. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember I was in
memories-
high school when this was
Yeah.
still out.
memories of that game kind of fade out, but it does, fill the expectations that people had with the previous game, with the whole disguise thing, the variety of weapons, the assassination techniques, the hiding the bodies, and people spotting you. It does have a penalty system that the other games don't have, so if you kill somebody, if it's a clean kill, if it's a very nice kill, you will get minus points. You will get plus points when you finish the objective. So there are ways around this, so you can get the maximum amount of points. Don't kill anybody. You can get disguises that are found on the ground or in closets or stuff like that. So don't get spotted, don't kill anybody, don't do anything, but kill the final boss or whatever.
Oh,
Then
the
get
target.
The target.
I was just about to ask you, like, I haven't
If you
played
want maximum points, of course.
I haven't played the other Hitman games, but when you said don't kill anybody, I was like,
Yeah, it's a video
okay.
game, you should do that. I know. There is...
So there is a target at the end, or
Yes, there are different styles of play. I mean, of course, some people may be put off by this, but I also think that it could also come as a mechanic for replayability. You can go in, run and gun, kill people, know the level, and if you really, really want to go back and have a better score, you could do that. And knowing the level, it will be easier for you, but don't even imagine on the first try to do it perfectly. You will get positive points, I believe, at the end if you're not a complete noob like I was, but I did get some positive points at end of levels. But the idea is that you will get negative, 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 then you'll complete the level and finally get positive, and that will add up to something in the end as being positive points.
does it unlock something, or
Being super stealthy, it only adds up to points. Herein lies the achievement system
oh, okay.
and the post it on Facebook. No, it doesn't have that
Oh.
option, but you can when talking about Hitman, we can talk about Absolution as the main storyline, and Contracts, which is the multiplayer mode.
Oh.
Right from the beginning, after the loading screen, you can select Absolution or Contracts. What Absolution is basically the main storyline.
Mhm.
You have unlocked 90% of weapons, meaning that you picked up and used 90% of weapons. You have found 10% disguises.
Yeah, then basically
you
the
can do
achievement. Yeah.
And there is another achievement system. I mean, it's integrated into that one, but it's a more in-depth one where they don't hold your hand and tell you, okay, you can do this, then afterwards do this, and you will get the achievement. Now, it's like a silent assassin achievement, whatever. And you kind of have to figure out what to do and get that achievement, which is, I think, great, It can keep communities on the forums, it can keep you occupied to play the game even more after you finished. And then the contracts mode, it's basically set an achievement for your friends. That's what the contracts mode is. It's preferably done after you completed at least some of the story, if not all of it, because you will have more unlocks. So when you start a contract, you first pick the place where you want to start the contract, then you pick the weapons that you will wield, the outfit that you will start in, and basically the maps from the single player. You jump into the map, you have the NPCs, and you have the mark mechanic. You mark your targets that you wanna mark for your friends and for yourself, because you can't mark them, you know, create an achievement and go away. You actually have to complete it in order to be verified as a doable objective.
Okay.
So you mark them and you kill them in a way, and your friends have to do it even better than you, faster, and you know, without mistakes that you may have done along the way, like
trying to get more points, basically.
Yeah. So throw this guy off the ledge, target 1. Target 2, strangle him wearing an outfit, and target 3, snipe him from a far distance. Then you end the level.
Makes me think about how guitars have that show bet you can't do this or bet you can't play this. It's pretty much the same thing here. You bet you can't kill this target like the way I did.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's replayability, you know, you will have content created by your friends. It's not a map editor by any sense, but it's an objective editor, if you will.
I wanted to ask you something about that. So I assume there's more than 2 ways to finish a level, because as far as I noticed, you can either be stealthy and sneak through the level until you get to the objective, or just kill everybody in your way and basically clear your path to get there. Not as hard and not as classy, but so
I have an example for that later.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But explain, please, if you can, if there are any more ways to finish a level except the 100% stealth mode or the. Actually, can you finish the game by killing everybody in your way?
You can. It's sad that it's not. You don't get paid, let's say, as much as for completing it stealthy. You can complete it, of course, you can carry on, you will probably have positive points, but other people that spend more time, and this is the problem that I had with actually recording this, because I had to wait a long time to see the paths of the enemies, to see where they were going, to form a strategy.
Yeah.
Then if that didn't work and I died, I restart, I had to wait again. And if they caught on to me, I had to wait in a closet until the heat cools off. It's kind of like a system with the stars in GTA.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, so there will really be running and gunning if you're really hostile mode. And it will come. You will have to wait in a closet a lot. So basically cater towards the players that like to sit back, relax, have a beer, and just wait.
Wait for your target for the right time.
Yeah. Also, it's nice that you can complete it in multiple ways, like I said, and like you asked. A good example of this would be on a level where you basically have this square, this Japanese style square, where people gathered, and in the middle of the square was a little pagoda, where the boss was, the target was, surrounded by guards, obviously, and guards were actually patrolling the streets, so you couldn't just grab an outfit or, And I think my initial mistake was that I reached the point where there were 2 chefs, and I, incapacitated one to take the outfit. I left the other one run away, because I said I don't need more negative points, although I could have just gunned both of them. The other one got away and alerted the cops, and the cops were onto me. And I was.
You mean the actual police?
I think the guy was. I won't spoil the story, but the guy was the head of police or something, protected by the police. And the chef got the cops. I had to wait I got out, I killed a cop, then got into an alley and just killed cops. They would come, a car was close to me, the car alarm was going off, and more people were coming, and I just gunned them all down. And the boss actually came there.
Oh.
Along with, I don't know if that's a buggy mechanic or something, but the boss actually came
to fight as well.
Yeah, to fight as well. I killed about 10 guys, then the 11th one was the actual target. I killed him, and I said, okay, just wait for the heat to go off. Another way that I found was going to... So that is one way, I guess.
Yeah.
Draw the target out.
If the boss coming out thing is intentional, if they really intended him to work that way, that's actually pretty nice. To stir up some shit outside. And
another way would be to get in disguise, obviously, and work your way, get the patrols, the guy watching the guy's back, basically do backtracking. The last guy in the back that has his back not watched by somebody else, kill him, then move on to the next one till you get to the end and kill the boss. That will still get you negative points because you will kill them. Another way would be, like I found out a little bit late after he was dead from the car alarm, I got on a superior level of a building, and my intention to get away, get maybe a new outfit or something, because mine was detected. I found a sniper rifle.
Oh.
Just lying there?
Well, I guess it was for defensive purposes or something, but yeah, I could have... Another way would be to take the sniper rifle and get the guy from a range point, then just hide and wait till the heat to cool off and get away from the levels. So that would be another method of, I guess, doing it without any
other casualties.
Yeah, you have to subdue the people with sniper rifle that were near the sniper rifle, because you can't just say, "Oh, hi, I just want to borrow this for a sec." Yeah, but still, that would wield to a big amount of points at the end. Another way, and I saw this actually in a video, pretty hard to pull off, is actually lead the target by doing some sabotage things to the level at the point which he, being sabotaged, needs to make a phone call and
just
needs to get away from the crowd and lure him and actually collapse terrain on him, collapse it, kind of like, I don't know, concrete, suspended concrete that was construction working.
Also just smash him to...
Yeah. So it's interesting that you complete that.
That's a much more unique way. But the thing I read about this game is that it treats you very maturely. I mean, it's very difficult. I mean, it's not like in the other games, like in Blood Money or any other Hitman games, where you just took the outfit and walk past by.
Yeah.
I mean, all the cops will recognize each other. All the chefs will recognize each other. So you will always have to change outfits constantly.
Yeah, that's the point with the outfits.
But what I wanted to ask you is, do you have the option to immobilize somebody without killing them? For instance, like in Dishonored, where you had the option of stabbing them or strangling them and knocking them unconscious.
You do, but there are still negative points either way.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said,
weird.
even incapacitating them. If you want an outfit, you should take it off a shelf or something. But, looking at the standpoint of negative points, you'll still be cool, complete the level the way you want to do, still have a good amount of points. You won't have, like, maybe the expert player in the world will have 1,000 points, more like that would be, instead of 20,000, he will have 21,000. But you'll still be high up if you complete it with snapping somebody's neck or incapacitating them. You can fake surrender, for example, if a cop comes to you and he spots you. You can fake surrender, throw your arms up in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Actually wait for him to come and cuff you, and when he is close enough, you, without a QT effect, when he's close enough, you actually he actually automatically does the action of incapacitating the guy. That will.
And I also read that the difficulty levels get close to impossible. I mean,
Yeah.
the last level of difficulty.
What was it, purist? Or purist?
Yeah, it just doesn't show you absolutely
Yes, the
anything.
HUD
It
is
hides
gone.
Yep.
everything.
Only the crosshair, like it says, and I have the actual screenshot in the video. You can find it online, of course. I played on normal, which is the second, so it's easy, normal, hard, and purist, or something along those
Yeah, the
lines.
standard difficulty.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine playing this game on purist and scoring all the points.
No, I want to ask you,
Jesus.
does playing on a harder difficulty, if you finish something on a harder difficulty, does it reward you more points?
I
Or-
do believe so. I didn't try it per se. I should have. I know now in hindsight,
Well,
but
it's not
I do
that
believe there is a reward to it, because otherwise, from a logical standpoint, why
What would you do?
why would you do it? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm always thinking about ways to reward people through by raising the difficulty. I mean, I'm looking back on Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, where if you had the last difficulty, apart from the fact that you gain more experience because the enemies were stronger, you also found stronger items that, for instance, if you play on normal difficulty, you would find it at the end of the game. On the hard difficulty or last difficulty, it would be at mid game. So I don't
stuff
know.
like that is that's nice to see.
I would find that much more rewarding than just having an achievement that says you finished this on Nightmare or Purist or whatever.
Yeah, although for some folks it's pretty satisfying for hardcore.
It's obvious,
people.
but
I'm thinking of the Guitar Hero maniacs
For
that
sure,
play stuff
yeah.
on an expert.
or I mean,
And challenge
Someone-
you to do it.
yeah.
You can challenge your friends to do what you
yeah,
just did in the contract.
the achievement community mainly had a very high impact in World of Warcraft,
Oh,
Yeah.
and
One of the first games that actually
Yeah.
introduced, I think correctly, the achievement system.
yeah, and now all the games have achievements. Steam has achievements,
Yeah.
even though the game has
Microsoft
achievements.
started with the
Yeah. To what end? I mean, I honestly don't see a
share it with your friends.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's pointless. My opinion, my personal opinion.
Well,
It does
it's
have
not-
an aesthetic standpoint sometimes, and sometimes you can do something with the achievement points, or you know.
Yeah,
Well, of course, I'm not really that big of a fan of this achievement system. It really doesn't do anything for me, although I understand its purpose.
if I'm not mistaken, did BioWare have this system where if you had achievement points, you could have get price reductions on DLC packs?
Actually, I think that's
It
just.
sounds familiar.
Actually, I think that's a console thing. It applies to all the games and all the achievements.
So yeah, that would be one way of pushing you to make that such a
Yeah, it
such a
gives you
commitment.
real life.
Because the way you said purist mode in Hitman Absolution, it sounds like a lot of time. And fuck me, that's like
Yeah, you
one
don't
way.
have instinct.
It sounds fun though.
Sounds
I mean-
fun, but I mean, I'm thinking about when I played Dishonored, and I was trying to finish the game without killing anybody, and it was a mission that could have lasted 10 to 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and from what I understood, that's pretty much in Hitman as well. It's even though it's very hard to play aggressive and run and gun people,
Yeah, it doesn't.
it can last
Yeah.
15 minutes. But if I played stealthy without killing anybody, it took me like a whole hour. And yeah, the same thing with Mark of the Ninja as well, and pretty much all the stealth
Stealth-based
games. So I don't know.
Competition has been made, you know, more familiar to people right now, that we have everything connected to everything.
If
and
the
you can share
reward
it
is
everywhere.
right, I would
So
go all the way. But
That's why
Just-
they are so many, because the rewards in many cases don't even matter, because you
Yeah,
have so many platforms to share your achievements on. Your reward is
but to brag
gloating,
about
man.
just to brag about it is nah. I don't see it that.
believe me, for the mass market, I think it's
Apparently it is.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do. If you remember when Wrath of the Lich King was out,
Oh,
a few months afterwards, there was a mount, something like a
yeah, the horse thing
Yeah.
for $40 or $20 or
it
something
was
like that.
the most sold pixel on the internet.
Yeah, that was.
Thousands of people bought that thing, just
No,
to show off.
those kind of things make me angry. I don't want to talk about
Yeah.
it. It's,
Yeah, but-
it's
My question is, what is this different from, for instance, League of Legends, where you have skins? I mean, it's obviously the same thing. Price,
They're-
the
they're
price isn't
keeping-
the same.
They're keeping the achievement tab in League of Legends still grayed out.
yes.
They probably still don't
but
know what to do with it.
They still have this honor system that they introduce now,
And with the
rating system.
the avatar system that
Yeah,
kind
remember
of newly-
with the Halloween thing, if you bought 10,000 RP, and that's about
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
55 euros.
55, yeah. Is it 55?
Yeah, just to get all the icons. Yeah, it is.
55
9,300
Oh,
RP was 50 euros.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not
people.
really.
I mean, games are borrowing.
Yeah,
mechanics and
trying to
aspects
make
from
marketing,
from other games
Strategies.
because they are familiar to the public.
Well, nobody's born an expert, so it's obviously
Yeah.
the people that work in the marketing business, for these companies, they obviously have to try out, and even though they are experts in marketing and they know, okay, this obviously can't work, on some levels they still have to test them out.
Yeah.
No, of
And
course.
they-
Unless you're Nintendo and you'll do well.
Yeah.
Either way.
In Hitman, you have, for example, the instinct mechanic that's similar to the detective mode in
Assassin's Creed.
in Batman, or the Eagle
Yeah,
Vision in Assassin's Creed, or pretty much many games nowadays.
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's
ability
okay.
to slow time, or to stop time, or to see through walls, or to see the paths of the enemies. or,
Yeah.
You know, yeah, they do this. They the QTE effects I mentioned when you fake surrender are not there, but when you attack somebody, they are there. One QTE. So press one button to initiate melee attack, and at the moment press Q or E or something.
Yeah.
Right. It's a small QTE effect, I guess.
Yeah, well-
You only run into it if you attack people like head on. If you just normally assassinate people like you're supposed to, you won't run into these difficulties.
So yeah. So, you like the game?
In the end.
Yes, it's I don't really have the time to spend hiding in closets that much, but it's an interesting game. The protagonist
the
is not
closet.
silent anymore, by the way. This
Oh,
is a
okay.
whole new topic now in the forums and stuff. The protagonist is not silent, or they are killing the
Yeah,
whole silent
Agent
protagonist,
47, oh my
yeah.
god. He's
Now we have Lego characters that talk, and sooner or later Half-Life Episode
Metroid.
3
It's
will
a Metroid thing all over again.
yeah, Half-Life Episode 3 will have Gordon Freeman talk. What next?
Yes. And I'll be 50 years old by then.
Mm.
Actually,
I don't know.
Morgan Freeman will be long dead by then, but...
Cinematics are okay, because we talked about cinematics in the past. It's fairly obvious I should mention them. They're okay. They don't take you away from the action, but they do help tell the story.
How demanding are the graphics and the whole system requirements? For
You can play them
Standard
fairly well on a medium range computer.
okay.
They're not too demanding. The range is pretty well. It's a PC game. What do you expect? You have mid-range computers that run it fairly well, up to high-end computers that run it really smooth with really cool graphics. So it's not a awful graphics game that runs on every, and the tweaking system is that low and medium. You also have high and ultra, and
so basically standard options there.
Yeah, but I'm remembering when I was talking with a friend that just recently bought himself a new laptop, about €1,000, €2,000 laptop.
Holy.
And he said that he had difficulty. It wasn't an Alienware or something that was professionally, but it was still a gaming laptop. And he said he had difficulties to run it on high max Paint 3.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking that even with high-end computers or laptops, you can still have difficulties with new released games that play them at maximum capacity.
I guess they also tweak things, and this is important to mention. I also mentioned it in the video. There are lots of reviewing websites that got Hitman and got it a low score because of the problems present in the game. But that's the problems that come with the pre-release version. They fixed those, and when it was released, I didn't find any of those problems.
But are they?
To be honest,
are we talking about bugs, glitches, or just
bugs, glitches,
game imbalance,
FPS problems? Those were in the pre-release.
Okay, so technical problems.
Yeah, technical problems. If you find a review that says it has those problems, be sure to check them in the release version, because they may have the pre-release version, and definitely they're not accurate nowadays. Okay,
so you played the release version and have no such issues.
I have no such issues.
Okay, that's
worth
noting.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
I don't think we have time to talk about other games that I've been playing, like Guild Wars 2, or I played a little Chivalry. It's fun. It was on sale, and it's fun to play on multiplayer. What can I say?
No, it's
I played Chivalry a few weeks ago, but I still haven't gotten about to play. Yeah, unfortunately, the War of the Roses. So still can't give a solid argument which one is better. Probably I would like War of the Roses better, just because it's third person in comparison to first person on Chivalry, and I personally prefer third person. It's much more comfortable.
It's for different types of people.
Exactly.
For example, I
it
prefer
depends.
Chivalry just because it's in first person. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you can feel that, get that feeling of that immersion, as Marduk said. So I guess we could point that out. All right. Well, then let's move on to some new games that will be released this week. First off, we have Minor Wars 2081 that will be released on 28th November 2012. An action-adventure RPG indie simulation.
Jailbait.
Yeah.
Because it's minor. Wars. Yeah. So, indie simulation. How's that go?
Well, from what I can see here, it's pretty much a first-person simulation of a spaceship type of a game. You can control and go from one place to another. I see a lot, and from what I can see from trailer and screenshots, it's full of explosions and asteroids. So it's a futuristic space game.
You have a price on it?
Apparently it didn't yet give a price on
It
Steam.
isn't priced?
Nope.
Does it have a pre-order
Interesting.
thing or?
Nope.
That would involve having a price, I guess. If they're not
But
releasing the
even-
price, they
even-
won't give it
Giving
to
it the fact that from the graphical point of view, it doesn't look outstanding, out of the ordinary. and it is an indie game. I wouldn't be surprised if this will be free to play.
Free to play.
It could be. I can't tell. I haven't done my research on it.
Interesting. Steam did have that space shooter indie game.
And was it for free?
Yeah.
Which one?
No idea. I didn't pretty much enjoy the graphics, the shooting mechanics, and the way you actually got to have new ships. But
Well, I can't imagine them releasing a free game straight out unless it was like a multiplayer only game or. I mean, is it a multiplayer game?
It does not mention that.
Because if it's a single player with a campaign, well, I can't imagine
it's
them.
gonna be free.
Yeah.
You operate an advanced mining ship in a fully destructible and open world environment which remains persistent as you complete missions or play online with others. That's about it.
I'm
It's
probably looking at 10,
I think
20
it's the
bucks.
ore there that if it's
Well-
only online, then it's probably
No,
has
it's,
the possibility to
I
play.
don't
but
think it's gonna
if
be
it has
online.
the ore conjunction there, I think it's gonna be priced at, like you said, maybe $9.99.
Yeah, somewhere
Not
more.
necessarily.
That's standard indie
Yeah.
game price.
yeah, who knows. Well, actually the game, I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward this week is Far Cry 3
Oh yeah.
on the 29th of November 2012.
How insane can the insane man go? Yeah.
Yeah.
Big focus on the antagonist this time.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's really going to be something new, something different. 50 euros, or the deluxe edition is 60 euros on the pre-purchase on Steam.
Oh, screw that.
Yeah, it is a bit pricey, but judging from the point of view that apart from the fact that it's made by Ubisoft, and their prices are generally speaking, they're
Full price.
yeah, and it offers single player, multiplayer, co-op, local co-op, and all that stuff. It's not surprising. I mean, it's a normal price. I mean, Skyrim was like this, and it still is, and it's been like a year since it came out.
More than a year. No?
Yeah, more than a year. So I don't know. I haven't played too much of the other Far Cry games, so I can't remember exactly where the story stands.
No, me neither. I just freaking love how it looks and how it.
Yeah, that's why I think the focus is on the antagonist here,
Yeah,
and not on the. I mean, you get a new evil guy every time, I do believe. First time I played Far Cry, I was first impression was, whoa, look at the foliage. In the Amazon jungle or whatever.
yeah.
Looked at the foliage like for 10 minutes.
I really hope it doesn't mess up with the gameplay, because that's good.
No QTE, no QTE.
Of course not. But yeah, that's what I like about at least as far as I've seen. It looks like the gameplay looks freaking nice, or at least something I would enjoy.
Yeah, but you can never be too sure, because I remember Tom Clancy, Ghost Recon,
Oh.
Future Soldier.
Uh,
It had some flaws.
Like imbattable soldier.
That-
Like press the kill everything button and kill everything.
It was really cheap from those aspects, and
Okay.
they worked on it for so many years.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed to see. Not a bad game, but not what I was expecting. Not something to brag about. Not something to
Yeah, I
shout
know.
out loud.
This year I was looking forward to a Warfighter.
Yeah.
And seeing how the campaign... Why the heck do they put campaigns in this game if they're gonna suck so bad? I don't know.
Yeah.
Really love the multiplayer aspect on the game with the whole, choose your nationality here. team and whatever, but
No, they just
I don't
squeeze
know,
in the campaign just for to justify their $60
I guess,
price.
but it's if you come to think about it, it's steeper for them to invest in making a campaign, because it's harder to make a campaign than just
Yeah.
multiplayer maps and
That's where
modes
the
and
money goes.
balancing. Yeah,
That's where the real money goes.
Oh, well,
look at Counter-Strike Global Offensive,
Ah.
bought as hell, because
yeah,
you
but
have multiplayer that everybody knows it will work.
Yeah, but
And
it has a
Global
long
Offensive.
history.
yeah,
apart from that, Global Offensive had some small flaws. I mean, it tried to look so shiny that it kind of forgot some very important aspects, like you had to go set from options the console. You don't have the console set. You can't open the console in the game. You have to check it in the options menu to actually start
you
it.
can't even bind it.
That's
No. It's
I don't really see the point.
the console was the most important aspect of the, well, not most important, but one of the most important aspects in the game. And this comes from a person that doesn't play Counter-Strike, and I knew that. So
Yeah, but
what the hell? Well, how can they just let that go? I don't know.
yeah, that's
Future patches.
I can't really.
No, because
don't
you
know what to
can
say.
do this, but you have to set it yourself. It's not natural. It
But
doesn't.
it's not like everybody just presses the whatever button, whatever is
Actually,
it named.
Squiggly
the hard-
line or
if you're-
tilde or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
the tilde.
That's the first time I hear about that.
Yeah, everybody calls it the console.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it activates the console.
True.
Chivalry has a console.
Of course, Chivalry was based on
Yeah,
the first one was a Half-Life engine, Half-Life mod.
yeah, they saw that it worked. They
Yeah,
kept it
it's
there.
the most basic of the basic.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got here? We got Total War Shogun Doi Otomo Clan Pack DLC. This is gonna be
Yeah.
on 30th November 2012. Marduk, I know you played a bit of.
Yeah, I played a bit. It's really nice that the Sega keeps bringing out content for this. I'm surprised that people. Well, I know why it's popular. I don't really like the game. It's
Did you read,
It's
read
very
the
hardcore.
books?
It's very hardcore.
not really hardcore. It's really more user friendly than the first Total War games, which I actually despise now. I kind of liked them before, but now no, I can't try them. I can't play them again. And the first time I played it, it was pretty underwhelming. But I don't know, people like it, as we can see, because Sega is still making content for it, and good for them.
Yeah, it's
Good for
gonna be-
them.
It's gonna be pretty cheap, only €4.
Yeah, and the game is like, I mean, you can find it now, I think it's €10 on Steam, but you can find the physical copy for like, I don't know, €6 or 7. It's worth checking out though,
Yeah.
especially now at this price. Maybe it's your cup of tea, but it isn't mine.
Well, in the autumn sale, it had like €10, but now it's actually €30.
Yeah, go find a physical copy. You'll find it for way cheaper.
I'm sure it's not €6, but it's still cheap.
No, trust me, it's about €6.
I do feel like, producers are afraid of coming out with new franchises.
Oh.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, if movies in Hollywood are trying to reproduce video games and
That's
Japanese animations and all that,
They want to create tradition, I believe.
there is no such thing as tradition when you try to
yet.
mix them up.
No, I think they're out of ideas.
Will we
and
have
they-
Mass Effect 20?
No.
well, they did announce Mass Effect 4, so
Yeah.
anything is possible. Okay. And the last one is Book of Unwritten Tales, The Critter Chronicles. This is, I presume it's an expansion or but DLC, it doesn't really say. It's gonna be on 5th of December 2012.
Oh,
So 1 week from
yeah,
now.
exactly. I think.
Probably we're gonna talk
Gonna
about
check
this
it out again.
next week.
If they revamp their marketing strategy and actually say what the heck it is.
It's an adventure
Maybe
game.
by that time they will just say if it's
Yeah.
an expansion or whatever it is. It's a good game. It's a fun game. But you can't really call it a good marketing strategy when you don't even tell what the hell you're trying to sell.
Well, those who played adventure games know pretty well what it is, but
Yeah.
that's the thing with these recent adventure games. Only
The small community.
the small
Actually,
community
not
that
small.
remember actually. Well, it's not really that small, but compared to I don't know, to other. There are really very few people who remember the old point and click games. Because they moved on, but
Yeah, I mean you did have a few good games.
yeah.
I personally can't stand them because they're just too damn smart for me. I couldn't stand them.
It was a good way to deliver story, I believe.
Yeah,
It was, and it is still.
Yeah, too bad they don't have much exposure.
True. Yeah.
Although with the Wii U, you can have some.
Point and click.
Yeah, well,
Pretty much that's all that you can do.
You
Yeah, but-
never know.
Yeah.
I wanted to point, not to point out, but seeing how Nintendo had issues with the third-party developers in the past, and you don't see. I don't think Batman ever came out for the Wii, nor Mass Effect or stuff like that. I can't imagine them publishing indie games so easily. I mean,
It's not even point and click. They should just call it point.
well,
Point and touch.
yeah, we'll see. Actually, I just should stop trying
Yeah.
to predict what Nintendo will do.
Yeah, it's
They'll do good anyway, so
Yeah.
God bless them.
Or whoever it is.
Yeah, whatever.
Alright, well, this was a shorter edition, but who knows?
Yeah, well.
We're glad you guys joined us.
Mhm.
Thank you once again, Toasted Synapse, Julie,
Yeah.
and MardukGX,
Mhm.
Mr. Mac, and tune in next time for the SarmiStudio.com podcast. Check out our Facebook page, Twitter page, YouTube page. You know the drill. Like us, love us, share us, stuff like that. And you can find our content on our website, SarmiStudio.com.
Well,
Well,
I
that's
guess we'll
about
see
it.
you next time. So, see ya.
See ya.